I do believe that at some point, architectural services will not be needed in the future. I believe that AI will provide it very soon. And perhaps it's a reason why I moved into the energy sector at the moment.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm really excited for today's conversation. Today I'm joined by Amadeo Bassi, founder of ABDS, and welcome to the Growth Diary. Thank you very much for joining us. What was the turning point that pushed you to build your own practice rather than stay within traditional architecture or construction roles?
Thank you for having me, first and foremost, for giving me the space to be here. I think it happened very naturally. My journey started, I finished quite late, university in a sense, at the age of 26. I did graphic design. I wasn't in the correct place, let's say like that. But, and the courses that I did before wasn't what I expected. When I went to architecture and I finished architecture, I managed to land a really good job, to be fairly honest. It was fantastic. So in terms of that, it was a great experience. I worked for a year, but the contract was just for 1 year. And at that time, there was a boom in construction. This is in 2006. I went kind of independent. I started doing jobs on the side. I managed to land a project up in Bedford to do 30 households. And that particular project kind of kept me. And then I thought, why not stay? Just stay along. And it was very difficult. It was a very difficult journey. Perhaps if I could take it back, I would have probably got more experience before moving forward, because it's been difficult. But from that moment, that's when it started. Although I worked for companies on and off within the next years after that. But in general, I had a board in my flat and I started building. I used to write down what I want, what do I want in my life, what do I need. I built a tree. That's what it was. And then the company became a tree of essence of what services I wanted to do, what I wanted to give, how would I elaborate this. And it was just a decision that just happened from one day to the other. And little by little, it's been growing and growing. It's a son, to be honest. That's probably the word to describe it. It's a daughter. And it's got difficulties constantly, but there's love, there's passion towards it. So you carry on building, and that's where it all started, the process, really. It was very natural in a sense. I always wanted to be independent. I'll be honest with you. I highly value the time that you can do things in your own time, in your own manage. So it's something that is so valuable,
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where it all started.
Yeah. Amazing. So your business brings design, engineering, and project management all together under one umbrella. What's been the most effective way to keep all those moving parts aligned and performing efficiently?
Well, that's a tricky one. There's always problems regarding the projects. I mean, this is what we do in reality. We solve problems. So one thing that you will get is loads of problems with every single project. Every project, again, is a different child, it's a different need, different DNA, absolutely, from the administration side all the way from the tender and the inception all the way to the end. But in terms of difficulties that I've found, I mean, coordinating is what we do. What I believe that I'm good at is getting the projects, putting it together with the teams, alignment, synchronizing in. But in particular, I think all parts are hard. I have to admit, dealing with subcontractors is very difficult, especially sometimes some of them have huge egos, and sometimes you have to fight for your ideas. Sometimes you have a design from the architectural department, the architectural area. But what happens there is I might give you an example. The structural engineer, very comfortable, goes, no, this works this way. You'll have a hold up. I need that space. I need to allocate a space. I need to win more space. I need you to change your design. So when you mention that, there are two factors. First and foremost, factor of money and time, which obviously the structural engineer or any engineer, mechanical, might not want to do. So right at the moment, you're like, okay, they might be like, okay, hold up, don't change my design. But then again, you are fighting towards the cause of making the project perhaps better. So you have to kind of negotiate with them, not only economically, but in terms of design and time, how to fix it and make it better. So those are complexities that this business has. It's not easy. Whoever goes into development, into design, into this type of projects, the one thing that they're going to realize is that from the moment one that you actually win a contract, you win a tender, for example, you only have a couple of hours of happiness. A couple of hours of happiness. After that, you celebrate because you won something, you have a contract. But then after that, after the 2 hours, reality hits you. And then you just have to deal with it.
So how are you approaching in terms of technology or AI tools to help you scale and having that balance without losing the human touch?
I have to admit that it's a process that I am right now, looking on technology and how to move forward, especially in terms of the tools of surveying thing. In the other hand, in terms of administration for the business, in terms of research, in terms of, the AI tools are amazing right now. I only work with two, to be honest, ChatGPT and Gemini, the pro version. But if I'll be honest with you, the amount of information that you can structure, the way you can structure a plan right now, it doesn't mean that the information of them is correct. You still have to play with your research and sort of go for the route. So in terms of research, marketing, or whatever I do in terms of the business, I tend to try to get different examples. And from the different examples, I make a decision on what I think, perhaps 3 examples, what might be the correct one. And obviously add my vision to it. But in general, it's fantastic what's going on with AI right now. And it's a huge tool. I do believe that at some point, architectural services will not be needed in the future. I believe that AI will provide it very soon. And perhaps it's a reason why I moved into the energy sector at the moment.
You've become really passionate about retrofitting in the net zero space. What excites you the most about this area, and what part do you see your company playing as demand for energy efficient projects continues to sort of grow at the moment?
I don't know how far this is going to go, but I can only believe that it's going to go really, really far in terms of the necessity and the requirements from the government. So the government at the moment throwing a lot of money and funding towards projects to help move people from F, Gs, Ds levels in terms of the energy assessment of the properties into the C levels above. I will believe that after that rank it gets dealt with, the oldest step be to go from C's to A's. So there is a structure in process. This is not just a UK process. This is a European agenda, legislations and regulations at the moment. We are looking at a plan 2050, 40. This could change depending each borough, how they have the vision. The certain thing is that we're all walking into the same area. So it's a fascinating area because there is a lot of projects. There will be a lot of work for the next 20 years. Secure. I think it's a secure market to move into this. It would only improve. I would believe that after the examples that plan in this European or first world countries, there will be this involvement in other countries as well. So in other territories. So it's a massive project down the line. And I think it's very interesting, to be honest. It is regarding buildings. We know coming out of our essence as a business, we are pretty much in the same identity of the project. Yeah, it's an interesting market. However you want to see it, it's a market that is going to throw, it's already doing it. It's providing a lot of funding and a lot of help towards people that have fuel poverty, people that don't have the requirements to pay the bills in terms of energy and gas, improvements to the houses. And you have to give credit also to not only to the government, but also to the energy companies that are putting the money into these funds for and helping people make a better place of their homes.
When you think about the next sort of 12 to 18 months, what's a success look like for you?
I think first step, we are moving in a different direction. I had a difficult hit during the last 2 years. I made some bad businesses sometimes that become quite problematic. But come out of it, I think we are turning now, we organize and we're structuring a new plan that goes with a new website, with a new project right now. I have put together, I think, different departments of the company in different areas. And although they're all kind of very similar, they are going to run very independently. So it's a new phase, but I think the first one here, I mean, the first project or vision is to be stable, have the company stable, have the company moving forward systematically, that every area, every department, so the ones we are talking about, like, for example, planning, design, eco hub, state agent hub, construction, and other ones work independent as an area of the company. So there is a lot of work to do, and a lot of putting together and coordinating well the team for this to go through. But at the moment, we believe that we can get this done. We are right now, probably the biggest challenge, we are tendering right now in the UK. Some of the projects, loads of the projects I did them abroad. And at the moment we are in the tendering game in the UK, and that is a massive challenge.
Well, thank you so much for your insights. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you. And thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me the space, the time, perhaps to, for people to also understand certain things about what we do in this type of business, which is far from easy. I like to finalize with this term. I'll give you an anecdote. When I was in university, I'll never forget, in the first class that we did technical design, we were all brought up. I think there was about 100 of us in the auditorium. And they asked us, why are you doing architecture? And I remember, I think 80% put their hands up and they said, no, I want money. I want to be loaded doing architecture. And I remember this is a structural engineer who said it to us. And then he finalized, he went through the whole and the people and everybody, yeah, money, yeah, I'm going to get loaded. So the guy goes, welcome to reality. If you're doing architecture, you're not going to be rich. The art, what I wanted to add to this, the art is that as a designer, as an architect working, it's a beautiful career. Don't tell me wrong. It's a lovely job. It is what it is. But if you really want to make success in terms of business and money, and want to move forward, you need to run your business. There's no other way around. And it's very, very hard. And that still doesn't open you the door to say that you're going to be a millionaire. You're just going to live stable. You're just going to try to do as good as you can. It's a lot of work that goes into this, a lot of thinking. And perhaps to even say this, a lot of the thinking you don't get paid for.
Thank you once again. And it's been an absolute pleasure.